Hello and welcome to We Are Nacogdoches. It's the show where we can explore the businesses and the organizations of Nacogdoches and visit with the people that make our town special. I'm Kelly Augustine. I'm the president and CEO of our Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm happy to be here today with a very special guest, Caroline Garner. Caroline, you are the president and CEO of Nacogdoches Area United Way.
Yes, Kelly, that's right. I've been with United Way for about 8.5 years now.
Well, how did you start with the organization?
Well, they were looking for an accountant. That's my background. I have an accounting degree, and I was friends with the wife of the then CEO. And so I got a call when their accountant moved away, and I came to work there. Right away, I embraced the mission. I love what we do at United Way, engaging in the community and finding needs that are not met, finding ways to raise resources to meet those needs. And so it grew from the accounting role into much more, and eventually got to be the CEO. I'm very proud of that.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you learned a lot about United Way, I'm sure, through the books and the activities.
Yes.
What is the purpose of our Nacogdoches Area United Way? Why is it different than just what people might say United Way does?
Okay, so the beauty of United Way is that while we are part of this large, literally worldwide organization called United Way Worldwide, we operate under their umbrella, but do so in a way to meet needs of Nacogdoches itself. All local United Ways, wherever they are staffed by and organized by volunteers who engage in that particular community, and the decisions on how United Way time and funding is spent are based completely on the needs of that particular community. United Way Worldwide does not tell us what to do in Nacogdoches. We have the community basically tells us what to do, the community and the volunteers on our board of directors.
That's great. So
It is.
it's very specific to our area.
Yes.
Specific to our needs.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you touch on that? What is it about our area here in Texas that United Way serves, and how they do that?
Well, unfortunately, our part of Texas is one of the most impoverished areas. We rank, unfortunately, very high in poverty statistics. So there are a lot of challenges by our neighbors to just meet their basic needs in the areas of health or healthcare needs such as prescriptions or just medical care. Also being able to pay their rent or the utilities, things that a lot of us take for granted, or find groceries, especially with the inflationary times we're experiencing now. So we have agencies that help deal with that, that will help people find low-cost prescriptions or pay the rent, or we have a wonderful food pantry in town that we help support that puts the food on the table. A lot of families would be going hungry, families with kids or even elderly. And sometimes there are people who have been at work, even there are stories, I've heard them firsthand, of people who've been employed, and through a workplace campaign, that's what we call at United Way, when employees of a certain organization make a pledge and then it's withheld from their paychecks the next year and remitted to United Way to go back out in the community. So we've had participants in those workplace campaigns in the past that end up, for whatever reason, layoffs, changes in the economy, changes in the structure of some of our local organizations, they find themselves all of a sudden without that paycheck, not able to support others, not even able to support themselves. And so they end up relying on United Way services. And we've heard those stories firsthand. And it's nice that they can, that we have neighbors. Basically, it's neighbors helping neighbors, So the ones who are able to give can help the ones who are in need. And then from the other side of the equation, we have people who have been recipients of those services. They start out becoming aware of United Way by taking advantage of some of the programs that we support. And then when they get back on their feet, they're so proud and happy to be able to give back, have a little take another paycheck, or volunteer at the food pantry or wherever. And so it's just beautiful the way that's a give and take, neighbor to neighbor. Basically, that's the beauty of a local United Way.
Well, and that's what has stood out to me when I've heard those stories is how someone can find themselves in a situation where they do need just assistance,
Hmm.
and then they have either been involved in United Way in the past or after they've managed to get back in a good place and they continue with the organization. So honestly, this organization is standing on its own through that cycle in a way.
Yes, yes, absolutely, it is, and I just love that that's how United Way works, and that is our mission. We exist not just to help people with these immediate needs, but also to support these programs that will help them get back to being a productive citizen. Really, that's our goal.
So Caroline, I know you probably could do everything on your own, but you don't. You have a lot of volunteers that help out. Let's talk about volunteer opportunities, how volunteers work in this organization, and then maybe touch on the events that you do that people in the public would see.
Sure, my goodness, I'm very, very happy and proud to talk about our volunteers because we are what I like to call a small but mighty United Way because we have basically a staff and a half. I used to be the half, now I'm the staff, but I have a part-time associate and an intern sponsored by SFA I'm grateful for. But we put on big event. So first of all, we fund 19 agencies in the areas of health, education, and financial stability. So we fundraise about $250 to $300,000. We try to fundraise through these workplace campaigns I already mentioned. But then to supplement that, we have events, major events, and all this funding is allocated back to the community every year with a decision made by at least 20 volunteers per our bylaws. So volunteers work on both sides of the equation, helping raise the funds, whether chairing the campaign or helping speak on behalf of United Way at their workplace or out in the community, or managing or volunteering at one of our events. And then those same volunteers, and some different ones, will help make the decision every year on how the funding goes back to the community. So it stays relevant that way. So we do so much at our United Way. That's why I'm so proud and honored to be the CEO, because I get to work with a wonderful board of directors. We have up to 30 on our board. It generally is between 25 and 30, up to 30 per our bylaws, that help manage these events. I'd love to talk about these events now.
Yes, let's do.
Talk.
Because I think that's the high profile part of this organization.
Yeah.
So let's go over those great annual events you do.
Okay. So we do have 3 major annual events. I guess I could say 4 because we also have a Day of Caring volunteer event.
Okay.
Where we have about 125 to 150 volunteers go out in June, and this is something that a lot of United Ways do. We learned about it from other United Ways. We send volunteers out in the community to do projects for our partner agencies, we call them, and these are projects that their day-to-day volunteers wouldn't necessarily have time to get around to. So we do that every June. But then in addition to that, we do sponsor the annual Turkey Trot event. And that is something that was founded for us by pilgrims almost 15 years ago. We will be having our 15th annual Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving morning. It's always the morning of Thanksgiving. Turkey Trots go on all over the place. And when family and friends come to town on Thanksgiving, they often look for a turkey trot to get out and walk or run, earn their turkey points, basically burn those calories first and work up the appetite. So, and our trot has grown. It's very successful. We have had about 300 or so participants this last year. We not only have a 5K at 8:30 every Thanksgiving morning, but we also have a Kids K that is free to kids up to age 12. We have a sponsorship for that. Anyway, so it ends up being just a wonderful family event, and friends and family come in and.
And speaking of family events, I know the Dudette Barbecue is also a great place for folks to go on Saturday mornings. Tell us a little bit about Dudette Barbecue, and then we'll hit the big Christmas parade after that.
You betcha. Okay, so the Dudette Barbecue that's big on my mind right now because it's coming up soon. It's the last Saturday in April.
Great.
Traditionally.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the 27th this year. But anyway, it's the last Saturday in April, and we hold it out at the County Expo Center. So it's an outdoor event. Beautiful weather, I'm sure, is coming for this year's
Sure.
event. But anyway, we have cook teams that consist of family or coworkers, friends. Anybody can do this. It's not a professional barbecue, so it's just a matter of enjoying cooking and getting out in the community, which we love. And then people come from out of town to go to this, do that. We have double blind judging, so that there are judges in the back room who have no idea whether it's their friends or their worst enemies barbecue. We're all friends out there, so I'm just kidding about that, of course. But we have beef, pork, and chicken and beans that are judged, and then at the end of the day, we have a presentation on the stage as to who won the judging, and then also a People's Choice Award and a Showmanship Award, because some of these teams love to go all out decorating their booths. And we have vendors, a large variety of vendors, and we have a band that plays as well. This year we are adding an outdoor expo, so we're very excited about that. Something for everybody, very family-oriented, and a family area with activities for the kids specifically.
That's going to be so much fun.
Oh, it's a big time.
It's a tradition for a lot of folks in Nacogdoches, and I think we're going to have to mention the lighted Christmas parade that is on so many folks' calendars. They make their way to Nacogdoches the first weekend in December to do that, but we've run out of time, so we can't talk about it much here. Where would people go to find out more about that Christmas parade, the Doodat, barbecue, the turkey trot, and then again, the other good things that Nacogdoches Area United Way does?
Right, Kelly, that's an excellent question. To find out more about the parade and all of our events, the parade, which is always the first Saturday of December, by the way, on downtown Brick Streets, go to our website at unitedwaynac.org, and we feature our upcoming events, and you can learn about our agencies, how to partner with us, how to get involved, volunteer, etc. unitedwaynac.org.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to. Oh, well, we're glad you were here, and we're glad you were here watching We Are Nacogdoches. We're a unique town. We have a lot of special people, and it's great to talk with them. Thanks.
This program is brought to you by the Department of Mass Communication at Stephen F. Austin State University, in association with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and with special thanks to the City of Nacogdoches.